Let them talk. Just let everybody talk, and then we'll figure it out.
But he's like, look, we get that you've been out front with Trump on the Trump stuff, right? You've been way out front. You were very early about he's not going to give up power. He's a
gave up
fascist kind of thing. That was sort of your trope a while ago, or the things, the assertions you were making, not a trope. And
Yep.
later, when you attack the left, you feel, and it's interesting because it also happened when I did an interview with Mark Benioff where he called Facebook. This will make sense, I promise. Facebook, a cigarette company. And all these people reacted like class traitor. Like, that's what I felt like. You know what I mean? How could he, as a fellow billionaire, point out something that's glaringly obvious to everyone else? It's addictive. It's a problem. They don't care about safety. They care about money over growth over everything. And they're not taking responsibility for the damage they do. That's all he was saying, right? Which was as clear as day. The fact that when I say it, it's like, oh, she's tough on us. When he said it, he was a class traitor. That's what I got, which I thought was interesting. And so one of the things that I think is interesting is when you agree to talk to people you disagree with. Like when I did a Liz Cheney interview, same thing. They're like, how can you talk to her? She likes wars. I'm like, yes, she does. And so I will talk to her about why she likes wars. Right, or whatever.
Let him
I know that. You know what I mean. That's,
she makes money off of war. Stop playing.
She gets a lot of because she's loyal to her dad, and her dad was a problematic figure at best in American history. He is. It's gonna be.
It is what it is.
Complicated.
But even Iraq, I was against the Iraq War, as many of us were. But I will concede all these years later, like in 50 years from now, what will people say about that? I'm not saying it will change. I'm saying you don't have to get a feather to knock me over with if it does change, because I've seen in my life, I'm old enough things which I thought were one way and then weren't.
Right.
And that's why I said here, I'm not going to lose my nervous system about Trump again, because he absolutely is a horrible threat and he could blow up the world on day one, or he could just.
That is such a general statement and so kind of silly, because he was president for 4 years. He didn't start any wars. You elected Biden because he said he wouldn't start wars. Why even? That don't make. Bill Maher just said he's not going to lose it again if Trump becomes president, because he's so unpredictable that, he might not start a war. Like, you got 4 years of Trump, 4 years of Biden. What are you talking about, Bill? Let's let him talk. Let him talk.
Sit there and eat cheeseburgers and call into Fox and Friends every day for 4 years. He's so unpredictable. I'm just not going to lose it until it happens.
Well, one has the hope. Maybe he's just old. He'll just be old. But I think the issue with people with you, at least with you, and I'll tell you the issue the tech people have with me is I'm not a constant fan of them.
Who?
Tech people, right?
Right.
I'm not constantly, even though I do love tech, and that's why the subtitle of my book was A Tech Love Story. I love tech,
right,
but I don't love what they've done with the place.
Right.
And for some reason, those things can't coexist. And that's a problem. I think the issue with someone like you is that the focus on Biden versus the danger of Trump, that they're like, you're focusing on the scones to make it very good.
What are you talking about?
I'm just telling you, you know that.
We've talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
Almost everybody who I could think of who I really respect, we're kind of all on the same page here, which is like we lose our credibility if we don't talk about, as if they're not going to notice Biden's old.
Why are you
doing old?
Pause. Why are you making it a joke about Biden, Bill? Oh, he's old, which is not a joke. He is old, but like you're being too. He started Ukraine, Israel, the border, which leads into so many other problems. Fentanyl. I mean, Bill. What, Bill? Come on, Bill.
I've never seen that before. Bill Maher makes a good point. Joe Biden is old. Yeah, I mean, or whatever it is. I can't say it enough. I said it many times. I would vote for his head in a jar of blue liquid over Donald Trump. But that doesn't mean that I'm not, first of all, I think it's a moot point at this point.
Huh?
He's gonna fucking lose.
Who, Biden?
Yes.
No.
Dude is not
No.
solid
I
at
would
all.
bet you.
Oh,
What should
great.
we bet?
No, nothing. You
Can I have
win.
ownership of this place?
No.
Come on.
No, I'm not.
Ownership.
It's not the kind of
Can
thing
I
I would.
throw a
No.
bitchin' lesbian
No.
party here?
No,
You're
not
not
only-
invited
no,
if he
no.
wins?
Not
Why
only
does
will I not
why-
bet on this
Can that be
premise,
just a
Okay.
party?
you could change my mind on it in the next 2 minutes.
Right. I'm telling you he's going to win.
Convince me.
All right. There is a silent, you remember the silent majority with Nixon?
Correct. Yes, I
There's
do.
a silent majority of people who really don't like Donald Trump. And I
Oh,
can't.
I don't think they're that silent.
I think there's a noisy group, certainly. And
Right.
and there are elements of, going too far. But there is a quiet group of people. And I have a lot of people who are Trump relatives. And now they're women. They're all women.
Right.
There's a lot of men who, and my family, people I talk to, various people who are like,
Keep talking.
I'm voting for Trump. All the
What?
women, quietly, no, absolutely not. And so I think there is that benefit. I think the
Well,
issue is,
I don't mean to be rude. The women, there won't be any more women's sports if Biden wins. In 4 years, there'll be no more women's sports. I mean, that is just insanity. I don't know what she's talking about. I mean, like, I don't know. What are they talking
Is-
about?
where the votes are, right? And I think that's definitely the worry is if it's in Michigan, if it's in Nevada, if it's in Arizona, Pennsylvania, those issues. But as a whole, I think people will look at him and say, I just don't want that again. And Biden is the less problematic person who we kind of know how it's going to go. And we don't want chaos again because I think people are after chaos.
That is an absolutely possible scenario.
Have you been to Oakland, Sacramento? I mean, people are bent over doing drugs. The border is chaos. Everything is expensive. What are they? Whatever drugs they got going on in there, maybe that's what's wrong with them. Because the chaos, there was COVID. Like, COVID was once in a lifetime. This is great. Doesn't Bill Maher live in California? It is terrible in California right now. Like, I mean, talk about.
That's why I would not bet on something like this. Do I think that's absolutely possible to describe? Yes. Or it could not be. And I can't tell the difference. It could go
Yes.
that way. There's also something called the reverse, the shy Trump voter.
Oh,
That's
I don't
the-
think they're shy anymore. Those
No, well, you're talking
They
about
were shy for a while.
again. You're talking about the people who you see.
I
The
never
shy
voted
Trump
before.
voter is specifically something else. The shy Trump voter is the one who's going to vote for Trump, but doesn't want you to know it because it's a little déclassé.
It's kind of
And
weird.
they don't
actually.
want it in whatever the company they're in. I mean, any place you went in this
Company?
town, no one would say they're voting for Trump, and I'm sure he's going to get some votes.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I think more than you think here.
No,
You
I-
ask,
Especially
they
for
should
this
say.
bill. I think it's because
Oh, yeah.
It's America.
100%. And also
This
that
is so
the other
weird.
side, which is the problem Biden has, he's a reasonable person in an unreasonable age, right?
Right.
He's
Yes.
he's just
Well
like
said.
Biden's been in politics for 50 something years. 84. 86 or 88. I think it's 86. 94. These bills that he created did more harm to the people that voted for him. I don't understand. He's got a track record of lying. He's a politician. What are they doing? He's been a politician forever. And if you remember in 88, he tried to run and he had to get out because there was a scandal. This guy's, I mean, who even cares? Just stop voting for him. Gosh.
Right.
Terrible.
well, Gaza, there's a lot of really problematic situation there. At the same time, we need to defend Israel. You can't run up the middle anymore.
Right.
You absolutely can't run up the middle.
No, and he needs a
She's
Sister Soldier
uncomfortable.
moment.
Sister, oh, like that. Oh, for Trump, you mean? Or
No, Sister Soldier
no,
was
I remember it was during
oh,
Obama.
Clinton.
Clinton, sorry.
Clinton.
Obama was
Yeah.
the other guy, the
Yeah.
Reverend.
Yeah.
There's always one.
Sister Soldier was not a very famous, as I recall, rapper who said that something like, I think there was this right after maybe the Rodney King.
Do you want more ginseng?
Wax.
Yeah, I know. I'm afraid to have.
All right, at this point, they're just going to be so waxed. There's no point in even carrying on. But Nevada, I think Trump's up 5, which is crazy because I think he lost by like 9 points there. New York was like 23 points. I think he's down 7 points now, Trump. They're not paying attention. We're gonna vote. That's what we're gonna do. MAGA.